Hey YouTube, it's the Busy Diva. Before I get started, I'm going to ask that you like, share, and please subscribe to my channel as I work to build it up with commentary and who knows what else I might put on here or who knows what else I might start talking about. But today I'm going to go ahead and chime in. I know a lot of people have been talking about it, but you know what? I have my opinion and my take, so I'm going to talk about it on my channel about this story about the interview with Gayle King and Lisa Leslie. I first heard of this story listening to one of my favorite commentators. Her name is Vicky Dillard, who's on Fly Nubian Queen. And if hey, you get a chance, check her out. She comes on in the afternoons and sometimes at different times, depending on when she's able to get on. But she really spits a lot of knowledge and awareness, and she's a really good teacher, and I really enjoy listening to her. So anyway, then I start hearing others talk about this interview. So to get to the point of the story, um, Gayle King, who lately and along with her friend Oprah has been taking a lot of heat, and rightfully so, on the narratives they've been painting about black men that may have some what they want to consider improprieties, and they seem to focus so much on the brothers that are getting in trouble behind this Me Too and sexual assaults and all kind of things of that nature. Yet they have yet to put on blast their Harvey Weinsteins and the Charlie Roses of the world, who happen to be their friends. They're not out there demonizing them, but yet they get out there. Oprah did that horrible interview with those boys to defame Michael Jackson, and he's gone. And now here comes our buddy Gayle, working to defame Kobe Bryant. He's not even in his grave yet. To my understanding, I've not even heard about a funeral service for him yet. So, she did this interview with Lisa Leslie, who spoke of being a very, very close friend. So, Lisa Leslie herself is, still mourning his death. I know what it is to lose a very close friend. I mean, that's up there with losing family, as far as I'm concerned. And, I know that that was very hard for her to have to sit up there, on national TV and, and speak about her friend. I mean, I know it was hard to say the good things about him that she was saying and the thing in her experiences and, what she knew about him, throughout their career in basketball. And, but, being your friend and, being taken away so suddenly, it's a really hard pill to swallow. I mean, it's difficult. It's a pain that I can imagine, because I lost a friend, but she didn't die as suddenly as Kobe did. But you know, to not believe that she wouldn't make it, that was it was very, very difficult. And deaths like that make you ask questions, make you just really feel some kind of way, and it's difficult. So I can relate to the difficulty that Lisa Leslie may have had sitting there talking about Colby. And my heart goes out to her, and my condolences to her, as well as to Kobe's wife Vanessa and the little girls that he left behind. This is a shock to the nation, quite possibly the world, because he was so well known and so loved by so many. And with that being said, this makes what happened in this interview even more despicable. So Gayle King was interviewing excuse me, Ms. Leslie, and she was asking her various questions about their friendship and how well, and she was talking about how they knew each other. So they practically, I can say, grew up in professional basketball together, and how they visited each other's homes. And she said he was like a brother to her, And so then Gayle has to reach back to 17 years back to an allegation that was he was not convicted of. He went to court over, he was not convicted of, and to bring that up in the same vein. Now, mind you, you're talking to a woman that's a very close friend that feels like that's her brother, and you bring up something like that, and it's almost, like it's so inflammatory to me. And so she, asks her about it. And so Ms. Leslie, very graciously was telling her how she know the type of person he was, and that he wasn't aggressive with women, and he wasn't, the thing, any type of way that would make, that he would be inappropriate with women when she would be out. She knew, said she knew men who were, other players who were, but he was never like that. And so then Gail, kind of presses her with asking about, she asked the question was, um, did that complicate his legacy? Now, when I heard her ask that question, something kind of went up my spine. And I can imagine, how Ms. Leslie felt hearing that question asked. And she said, that she didn't think it complicated his legacy. And then, instead of Gail letting it go, she proceeds to tell her that you wouldn't see it, that he was your friend and you wouldn't see it. And I mean, I was like, the unmitigated gall, first of all. First of all, Lisa Leslie was not sitting in a psychologist's chair. Were you a psychologist, Gail King? No, she wasn't. You were your psychiatrist. Were you her therapist to be telling her what she felt? And from what I understand about being in therapy, they ask you what you feel. And so she asked her, and Miss Leslie told her what she thought. And then she's going to tell her what she didn't see. So how do you know? Is she a mind reader? I mean, and how, my thing is, how ask something so inappropriate, being that the man is gone, he's not even buried yet. I mean, these wounds are so raw even for her, and that would be painful to her, to Leslie, so Miss Leslie. So, I mean, I just thought that overall, scheme of questioning, not to mention, is if, you're painting an ugly picture of, once again, of a brother to defame his name. And that's just, it was just so uncalled for and despicable. And I listened to various other commentary, and I was listening to this other station, The Breakfast Club, this morning, and Charlemagne the God. He made up a very great point, as well as another YouTuber I like to listen to, Willie D. Is, if you want to talk about something, tell the truth. You want her to talk about Kobe, but then why didn't you talk about that woman that he was alleged to? These allegations were made against. It was found that, some really, there's a lot of stuff that, just didn't make that true, what they said he did. And, I just don't even want to go into the ugliness of it all, because I'm not going to give that stuff power in life. But, Gail, you really should have been ashamed of yourself. And I mean, the social media really dragged her really bad. I mean, she was so grounded into what she said, to the point that she commented to another personality and told them, that she felt that the interview was a good one. She felt that she asked the questions correctly. So she wasn't backing down at first on what she said and those questions she asked, and the way she asked in her tone. She wasn't backing down then. But then, after, I guess, the effects of being dragged up and down social media by nobodies like me to celebrities, really went off and really took this, really hard. I looked at the different blogs, statements from Twitter and different ones, and yeah, there were a few people supporting her, but the vast majority, were not having it. And so then, so then this morning, she gets on Instagram. Now, mind you, she wasn't trying to answer anyone on social media before, and she dug in that, she was right in what she said, and there was nothing wrong with what she said. But this morning, she had to back down, and she had the nerve to say that her words were taken out of context. Now, I'd like to know what was taken out of context, what she said. And she had the nerve to say she's going to have a talk with CBS for airing the most salacious parts of this interview. That this interview she did with Ms. Leslie was such a broad interview that, how dare they get that little part to sensationalize and advertise, the interview. Well, first of all, that's what news does. That's what the media does. That's not new. That's to be expected. Of course, the media is going to get the most salacious thing out there to try to get people to watch. Kind of makes you think a little bit about clickbait when people, get out there and put this big sensational headline. It's not even what it is. But this headline would have been what it was. But I'm really proud of Lisa Leslie for graciously and with such class and elegance shutting her down. She shut her down because she told her, if why didn't they had many years to talk about that thing that they claim he did. They should have asked him then, why now? And it should just basically let it go. And it was just funny to see how Gayle just had to shut her mouth, just to go on, as the kids used to say, hush mouth, because it was just so inappropriate. I mean, why is it that some of us just feel we have to throw each other under the bus? Why didn't Gayle, why isn't she throwing Charlie Rose under the bus when he had multiple allegations? And from what I've heard and read, those allegations were pretty credible, and he lost his spot. And Harvey Weinstein, who she and her friend Oprah are buddies with. Even Epstein, this other guy who was supposedly sex trafficking all these girls till he got caught and then turned around and killed himself, supposedly. I guess because it got too much. They're not talking about them and making documentaries about them. And trust me, they had plenty time to do it. But this man, Kobe Bryant, is not even buried. His wife is mourning. His friends are mourning. Lisa Leslie was mourning, and she still did this. And then to get on the social media for probably the first time to try to clean up what she did by saying her words were taken out of context. You know, I was pretty good in English, and I'd like to know what part was taken out of context because it was pretty clear. I mean, she's not like she's an amateur reporter, an amateur journalist. She's just brand new or just getting started. She's been in this game for a minute. So she knows how to ask the question. She knows what question to ask to try to get a rise out of the person that they're asking the questions to. So, as they say, as this one, someone says, miss me with that. Please, who are you talking to? It was taken out of context and that she had no intention. Well, those saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And if she doesn't repent, what she did can take her to hell. So, no, miss me with that too. It was and then talking about she's going to have a talk with her network for taking that clip of the interview. That wasn't just a clip, that was a big part of the interview, which she did. I mean, she did that on purpose. Because if it wasn't on purpose, when Lisa Leslie said that no, his legacy was not complicated, she should have left it alone. She shouldn't have, first of all, she shouldn't have asked the question in the first place. But since she asked the question in the first place, she should have let it go at that point. But no, she kept on pushing at pressing Lisa Leslie, and then to tell her, what she wouldn't see because she's his friend. Well, you know what? I'm going to make a little point about that. If you know someone, if they're a true friend, someone is a really close friend to you, you know your friends. I don't care how close you are to them. If you know that they're no good, you know your friends that are no good. You know your friends that are kind. You know your friends that you can count on. You know your friends that are really no good. So even if they're your friends, you know your friends. Lisa Leslie knew her friend. So it wasn't about he's her friend. She couldn't have seen, any scene that he could possibly do something that he was do those things that he was accused of doing. No, Lisa Leslie knew her friend. So even miss me with that. There's not that much emotion in the world. Some people may not want to accept what their friends are or want to believe that they're friends, but you know your friends. I know my friends. I know the ones, when I used to run with a lot of friends, I knew the ones that were users, the ones that were fake, the ones that were not real. You know your friends. So she can leave that alone too. Like, she's no psychologist. She was not there to analyze Lisa Leslie. She was there to interview her, and you know, kudos and much love to Lisa Leslie for the fabulous job she did in handling that with such grace, elegance, and class. Because I tell you what, I was nowhere near as close to, Kobe or any of that. And that just really bothered me, made me feel some kind of way for her to ask questions in that regard. And to even ask that question, it was just so ultra inappropriate. And Gail King, you should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, really, you need to get it together, or you going to be a part of I'm not so much about, the cancel culture. I know you probably have heard of that. You're about to get canceled. People are not happy. And for you to try to say, well, you're going to have to sit down and have a talk with your network. Like, who are you? Just like they got you there, they can get rid of you. So that ain't nothing. You're not pacifying us by saying that. "Oh, I'm just going to have a little talk." That was the fakest thing. So you need to come again, Gail King. And y'all need to do better because y'all are so losing it with us. I mean, the way you handle that R. Kelly situation, now that R. Kelly, way back when, since Aaliyah, I already knew he was, not a good person, but still, y'all always want to demonize the brothers. Why not talk about the white men who are doing worse? Y'all want to put the paint our brothers' faces on, make them the poster boys for, this culture of rape and deviancy. But that's not the case. And you need to hold up because at the end of the day, no matter how much cooning you do, no matter how much kissing up you do, you still black. And look in the mirror, you're black. As as Loretta Devine said on the movie Jump in the Broom, you're black, Gail, and you need to act like it because when the gauntlet gets thrown down on you, you're gonna need somebody to back you up. And right now, I don't know who's gonna do it. Oh, that's right, you got your buddy Oprah. She got you, but the rest of us, you know what? You need to repent. Oh, you just need to repent. That's all I gotta say. You need to repent. And much love to Lisa Leslie for that awesome interview and for holding it together. I know it was difficult. That was hard to have to, even try to address that stupidity. But God bless you. God bless the Bryant family, Ms. Vanessa and the girls. I don't know if my little video will get out there, but may God give you all, you, the fans, family, Kobe's parents, his brothers, sisters, if he had any, all the fans and people that loved him. May God give you all a peace that passes all understanding. Not saying it's going to get better tomorrow, but it will. And may his legacy live on through his children and his wife get strength to carry on. Have a great evening. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you for listening.